Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to The Dragon Prince, Season 3, Episode 5. So, last time, Ezran abdicated the throne to Viren. Very bad idea. Just stupidly bad idea. And on their continued journey, Callum and Rayla came across this other girl who's, I don't know if her name was mentioned, if so, I can't remember. But there was a Wonderwall joke, this oasis in the middle of the desert. Um, and yeah, she betrayed them. Big surprise. So things are kind of going wrong on both fronts right now. Um, and it just makes me wonder where it's going to go. Because if Viren's taking control now and they're going to definitely wage war and everything, how's this going to get resolved? How's that angle going to get resolved? I really can't tell. And then like with the Callum Rayla stuff, I could see that getting resolved. Them finding her and getting their stuff and getting Zim back specifically, which is I think that's all she actually took, but I might be wrong. But definitely the main thing. So I'm curious. I'm curious. I have started rewatching the series again from season one with a couple reactions, like I said I was going to. I started watching again with the normies. I checked out first season, kind of like go through with I can never remember her name. Um, Stephanie, I want to say Stephanie Best maybe is her name. But she does a bunch of videos like this where she goes through shows and does like the she did Shira as well, but she like does like highlights of the entire season in one video. So like there will be an entire season or entire video for season one, and that's what I've watched so far. I haven't gotten to her season two video yet. I think it's Stephanie Best, but I'm not confident in that. I not at all. Um, but yeah, so I started to check out more and get reacquainted with things, and yeah, I'm it's gonna help. I feel, but I still get the gist of where the series is at. It's just it's gonna help me like kind of remember certain things because it has been so long. But I'm definitely interested to see where this goes with both parts of the story and Amaya as well. Like we really need to see what happens with her and the Sunfire Elves. So definitely interested in that too. But either way, we're just gonna get this started. Hope for the best with this episode and see what happens. Now this is pretty much halfway through the season. There's 9 episodes, and this is episode 5. So it's pretty much halfway point. Just technically above because 9 episodes you can't split that exactly equally, but so I don't know how it's gonna be split or whatnot. Like you could say that not a lot happened in the first episodes, but also there were still things that happened, and I mean, hell, just Ezrin rising to the throne and then abdicating it within the first 4 episodes. It's like, geez. Um, but I feel like things are going to start getting more intense. Like these last episodes of the season are going to be the more heavy stuff, the more intense stuff. In terms of the side with Ezrin and Viren and all that, it's like, yeah, because now Viren's in charge, they're going to be going to war with Zadia. And that's not good. And I still do not understand why Ezrin abdicated the throne to him. Like, it, I understand he didn't want to go to war and have people die with the neighboring kingdoms. But I also understand he didn't want to accept their proposition to go to war with Zadia. But by abdicating the throne, all he's doing is relinquishing the ability to make that choice himself. But he's still technically making the choice. By abdicating the throne to Viren, he's chosen to have the kingdom go to war with Zadia. And it doesn't solve any problems. I know he's a kid, but it's like, come on. There was nothing smart about that decision. Like if he abdicated it to the one woman on his council um or someone else like that, then that would be one thing. Like I feel like that would have been a smarter move, but to Viren, that's dumb. That's like very dumb. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But let's just get this going and find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Very good episode. Very good episode. I really enjoyed this one for a number of reasons. So we're going to talk about each different half of this episode kind of on its own, even though it kind of like went back and forth between them. We're just going to talk about them one by one. I think we've been doing that, but so let's talk about the side with Ezrin and Katalis and all that first. So Viren has taken power, like completely ignoring the natural laws of the land on ascending to power and whatnot after the abdication of the throne, and he's just taken control, which was it was always going to happen, of course. Like, I mean, by the end of the last episode, it's like we knew Viren was in control now. I thought that that was part of the deal, though. I thought that he was actually given the throne, like that Ezrin abdicated it to him. I guess I was wrong about that part. But he did take it either way, which, yeah, it's obvious it was going in that direction. Um, we see him meet up with Claudia. Well, Claudia comes to him and they have a little conversation quickly, and he actually sticks up for her afterwards against his friend, who basically calls her a tool. And he's like, she's no tool, she's my daughter. And it's like, I actually, of how evil he is, how fucked up he is, and just how much he like needs to be killed, honestly, because imprisonment clearly doesn't work for him. And with all the evil and the danger that he threatens the world with, he needs to die. Um, but it's like, despite all of that, I mean, you have to give him credit for that one. The fact that he stood up for Claudia like that, when he had no reason to, like she wasn't there. He had no reason to like pretend or anything. He was legitimately standing up for her and saying like she's not a tool to just be used, even though admittedly he has been using her that way, even if he doesn't realize it. But yeah, he at least had that moment. I'll give him that. But then at the same time, when he gathers up the troops, he tells them of Ezrin's last decree, like anyone who wants to lay down their swords can, and multiple do. And so his response is, "Oh, you guys can go. You just have to wear a badge now on your clothing at all times, telling people you're lesser than them. You're weak-minded. You're a traitor. You abandoned the needs of this kingdom. And it's like, I'm just gonna fucking say it. Like, this is what the Nazis did with the Jews. Like before the concentration camps and everything, there was the badges on the clothing and everything to identify them, to mark them. And it's like, it's horrific and just, I don't know if that was the intent with creating this. I mean, it's clear that Viren is evil. Like, obviously. It's so blatant. It's not, they're not hiding it. But at the same time, it's like, was it intentional to make that reference? Or is that just kind of like an accidental uh like comparison? But it's just like that's instantly what I thought of, and it's like, oh no, that's not okay. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not okay to have made that reference necessarily, but it's not. It's just not okay. It's the act itself of that is not okay, and that bothers the shit out of me. Like God, that it's just that's wrong in every way. And knowing Viren, it's the first step to even more atrocities that are going to be committed. Soren, meanwhile, has turned on his father, not publicly, but he has chosen to sneak Ezran out of the cell and get him to safety with the help of Opelia, I think it was, um, and everyone else who is still loyal to Ezran, um, which is basically just Opelia, the um, the guy whose name I cannot remember right now, the tracker. He was a tracker in season one who was following them. I can't think of his name right now for some reason, but him, and even the baker was there of all characters. But it's like, so they all help Ezran escape, and he gets away. And I think it's implied that they're going to continue to resist, but I'm not 100% on that, so we'll have to see. Um, we'll have to see. And there was a conversation in there as well when Soren was sneaking Ezra out, like being so fucking like dumb and everything. Like, oh, this is Hay is great, and it's like, and then one day's like, please stop yelling, and it's like, oh no, I'm not angry. It's like, oh my god, Soren, you're such a dumbass. Like, it's awesome that you're doing this, but you're a dumbass. Um, and then the other guards like stop him. It's like, the hay is glowing. He's like, yeah, so. And it's like, oh, nothing. It's neat. It's like, what is this conversation? What is happening? What even is this? But I'm glad that Soren has chosen to stay loyal to Ezran rather than his own father. Unlike Claudia, he actually has the guts to do what's right. Claudia refuses to even see how fucked up things are. And honestly, I hope it goes further. I hope that he does make his betrayal public, and I hope that there does end up being a fight against him and Claudia. And I don't want him to end up dying or anything, or end up being in prison necessarily, but I want it to be made public. I don't want him to like pretend to be compliant. You know, that's all I'm saying with that is I would like him to get away if it does come to that, but I want it. I want to see it happen. Um, so on Callum and Rayla's side, after having had Zim stolen and their mounts led away, they end up getting one of the mounts back, but the other is bitten by a snake. So they have to wait until into daytime. They end up tracking down uh, what's her face? I cannot remember her name, but they end up tracking her down, and with Zim's help, actually, Zim lends a hand. They end up getting him back, but she's in trouble, and so they have to save her as well from the snakes. And they do because Rayla's a good person, and then Callum just kind of goes all in with this great speech about how awesome she is, basically. And then he kisses her. Just he goes for it. And it's like, kudos to you, dude. It's like we knew this was going to happen, obviously. Because it's like it was super obvious they both liked each other. They've been playing around with that for the season so far. And I really like that they finally just got to it. He kissed her and then just became extremely awkward again after. But she kissed him back and they shared a really sweet, tender moment. And I assume they have a new ally now. And the thing is, she was going to bring Zim to the Dragon Queen. Like, she was still going to accomplish that mission, but she just wanted to do it herself to gain a reward. It was just like greed driven. But I mean, if she can work with them and everything, she'd be an invaluable ally, honestly. Once her wings heal after being clipped like that, and with her mount and everything, it's like, yeah, she'll definitely be invaluable. Also, I didn't mention this yet, but last week's episode, there is the entire boomerang joke. I did not get it; just completely flew over my head. You guys remember, like they were on her mount, and Callum was looking through her stuff and saw the boomerang, and he briefly said it, and it's like it just did not click with me because I keep forgetting that Callum's voice actor is the same VA as Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just keep forgetting that. I don't know why. I mean, like when you know about it, like it's like you can definitely hear it, obviously, but I don't know. For some reason, it just completely goes out of my mind, and I don't think about it like that. And I guess that's the sign of a good voice actor. He's kind of lost to the character because he portrays Callum very differently. Yeah, like yeah, you can tell by the voice it's the same voice actor, but at the same time, the way he plays the character is different. And so it's like I get lost in the character. I don't even think about who the voice actor is. So I think that might be why I keep forgetting. And it's a good problem to have. But yeah, that joke completely flew over my head because of it. The Wonderwall one didn't. Maybe it's just because I am a fan of Oasis as a band and I do like the song Wonderwall, but God, that was so cringy. Like even looking back on it, I have not like calmed down on that. And again, they've made other references. Like in this episode, they make a reference to Indiana Jones. Like, why'd it have to be the snakes? Like that's straight up an Indiana Jones reference. But it actually fits here. It feels more natural. Like, yeah, it's obvious it's a reference. You can tell that, but at the same time, it feels more natural, especially to the situation. The line like, but anyway, here's the or and anyway, here's the Wonderwall. Exactly what she said. It's just like, I'm sorry. That felt so unnatural and out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh my god, oh my god. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Because the thing is, it's like I know it's not like all the creators and stuff from Avatar who are on this. I think it's just Giancarlo Volpe, right? But Avatar never did this. A lot of shows don't do this kind of stuff. Like make these super blatant pop culture references. Like something like the genie in Aladdin doing that is like, okay, fine. That's fair because one, it was Robin Williams voicing him, so that made just worked because Robin Williams does shit like that or did uh during his entire career pretty much. And it worked for the character too. But in this situation, it's like it did not work. It was I'm never going to get over that. It was last episode. I'm still not going to get over it. Anyway, I did very much enjoy this one for sure, though. A lot of great stuff. Again, a new possible ally, a definitely new romance there, and it's like it's obvious again that it was always going to happen, but it's kind of generic in a way. It's like, oh yeah, the main male and main female character, of course they have to get together. It's like if it's done well, I have no problem with it. And I do think it's been done well here. I do think they have great chemistry together. Fantastic chemistry. So I'm not upset at it by any means. I actually like it and I very much support it. It's just, you can't deny that it's a bit of a stereotypical move, having the main male and main female characters end up together. Um, but again, I'm okay with it because they're cute together. They have amazing chemistry together. It works. As long as it doesn't interfere with the mission, you know? And the Ezran plot in this one was great too. Viren is just gearing up to be even more of a fucking piece of shit, as always. Um, but yeah. Things are both going well in some cases, but also going bad in others. So it's like it's kind of a mixed bag right now. It's not entirely going wrong like it did at the end of last episode, but it's not entirely good either. So we'll just kind of have to see. But yeah, with us being like just about halfway through the series, again, or the season, again, it's hard to say with a 9 episode with such an uneven number for the season. But we're basically halfway through. With that being the case, it's like we got to start realizing it's like we're going to be done with this soon. Like in only like a few weeks. Unless I decide to do like multiple multi-episode videos, that then it would even be sooner. We're going to be done with this. So it's hard to believe and it's sad that it's only 9 episodes. Like I wish it was at least 12. Like at least then it would be like a more rounded number, but no, it's only 9. And so it's like I'm not going to say yet what's going to replace it. Though obviously it's a donation reward slot, so obviously you can put together that it's going to be a donation reward. But I will say that I am both excited to see how this season closes out, and I'm going to be sad when it does because season 4 or book 4, whatever you want to call it, is confirmed, but to my knowledge, it's not actually out yet from what I've seen. Um, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, how long it's going to actually take to come out. Is there a date? Like, have they actually said when it's going to come out? I haven't heard anything. But then again, as I've said in the past, I don't hear a lot of talk about this series in general very often. Like, the funniest thing is like people have been campaigning on Netflix for the renewal, or on Netflix, on Twitter for the renewal of like glitch techs on Netflix and stuff. Um, but I've actually heard more people on average talking about glitch techs than I've ever heard talking about this series. And this series has never shown to be in trouble of being canceled or in danger or anything. And yet glitch techs is the one that needs to be rallied for. And Infinity Train was being rallied for as well, and before the final season was announced as the final season and everything. But yeah, it's like I really just want to. I'm not sure why that's the case. But I am wondering when season 4 is going to drop. But either way, even if it dropped before we finish this, for some reason, like again, without having heard of it, it's like that would be just kind of out of nowhere. But even if it did, um, we still wouldn't be getting to it right away. We'd be taking a break in there, just as we do on the channel, take a break between seasons and all that. But we have some good stuff coming up in the future. I will tell you that. I will let you know that right off the bat. So nothing to worry about in that regard. But either way, I do hope you are enjoying this series. I do hope you're enjoying my reactions to it. And as always, with this being a donation reward, I do want to say if you have any rewards you want to suggest, whether series or movies, because movie rewards tend to be pretty common nowadays. um, Either way, though, please feel free to donate and suggest them. If you need to know how to donate, there is a link right in the description below to donate right to my PayPal. If you want to talk about it in the comments with me, you can. We can figure out like exactly what you would want to donate. You could choose pretty much anything as long as I haven't seen it. Movies and TV shows are obviously easiest to go with, of course. Movies being the easiest because that way you don't have to wait forever for all the other series to go through. um, but yeah, if you have any of that, and don't worry about whether or not you think I would like it or not, because honestly, it's exceptionally hard to tell. Even for me, it's like I can't tell looking at a movie like, oh, will I like this or not? I actually have to watch it to determine that most of the time. So don't worry about that and anything. And also, all donations, as always, get you a reward, no matter how big or small. You don't have to donate a lot. And if you can't donate, don't feel pressure to. If you are unable to donate, that's completely fine. I'm not forcing this on anyone. It's a completely optional thing. It gets some more reactions on the channel, gets some more interesting stuff, and it allows you guys to kind of take part in this without me opening up a Patreon or anything, because honestly, that seems like a lot of work that I just do not fully understand how to do. I do not understand Patreon that well. I understand how to use it as a patron, barely, but that would just be really complicated for me to handle. And honestly, I think this is better because this way you don't have to tie yourself down with monthly payments or anything. This way, it's just like a one and done. If you have $5 right now, you can handle giving. It's like just donate $5, you get a reaction. It's as simple as that. Or any amounts. Again, any amount works. I'm not saying it has to be $5. It can be anything you can give. It helps support me in the channel and everything, especially with this quarantine still going on. It's getting better. Things are getting much better, but it is still going on. And while it's getting better, there's still some issues, and things have not fully opened up yet, and aren't fully better yet. So they're getting much better, though, luckily, in some cases. There's also some cases where things are getting worse, like here in Michigan, because the governor is being impeded in her measures that have been proving effective. And now cases have risen up again because she's being impeded. It's literally caused by that. And it's like, oh my God. People are dumb. People are fucking dumb. But I'm not gonna talk forever on idiocracy or whatever. Idiocy, that's the word. I'm not gonna talk forever on idiocy and all of that kind of jazz. Um, I just wanted to bring that up and everything. Because again, this is the donation reward slot, and I will say the next one that's going to be taking place for this one is going to be good. I won't tell you what it is, but it's going to be something that I'm really hoping to love, like not just like, but really hoping to love. And it's something that I know people have wanted me to react to. So yeah, we'll be getting to that fairly soon. Within the next few weeks for sure. Again, I don't know how we're going to do these final episodes, the final 4 episodes, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Um, It'll just depend on how much I'm willing to record at any given time, basically. I'm not going to do all of them in one video. I did that with a couple other series lately, doing 4 episodes in one video to end them off. I'm not doing that with this one. I might do 2 videos of 2 if I end up getting like having the motivation to do that, but we'll see. We'll see. Either way, like I said, like I always say, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode, and no spoilers for the future. For now, though, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.